All right, and we're back. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so now we're in we're in Kurast officially. So this is lower Kurast. I haven't even mentioned this yet. I'm not even bothered by it because I'm just so stoked about how cool this build is coming out. So lower Kurast is an important part in the game. I will show you how to deal with it. So those of you who know what I'm going to say, just ignore it and pretend you never heard it, right? Lower Kurast, everyone says, oh, just do lower Kurast runs, and no one has any idea what the hell that means. They just go in there, they start doing the whole entire area, but there's only one part you actually give a shit about, and that is the Uber chest. So lower Kurast is one of those areas in the game that has a guaranteed Uber chest spawn up to 2. It's a very, 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 very efficient and easy thing to do, and every single map seed has one. Doesn't matter if you're playing this on Bnet, doesn't matter if you're playing it in single player, it doesn't matter if you're doing it in D2R. This is the same map gen every single time. Well, the layout's the same, the modular generation's the same too. That's what I'm trying to say. So you will always have what I'm going to show you, and I'm hoping it's not too bad. So lower Kurast in general is a pretty good spot to farm. Sorry, a little itchy here. It's a pretty good place to farm because look at all these fucking poppables. You've got shit all over there. You're hopping on pop. You're hooked on phonics. You got shit for days. But this is an area that has something that's even better. And once you find it, you will never ever forget how to do this. So when I show you it, you'll go, oh, Seth, you're so smart. How did you figure this out? I learned this from DJ Waters and I believe Dobrunsky, I'm pretty sure. So right here, see this shit? Okay, let's get rid of this fucking bullshit frog. Go away. Get out of here. This is my home. My house, my bottle, my son. Okay, so okay. So you see this little circle here that we're in? Every single lower Kurast in Diablo 2, doesn't matter what difficulty, doesn't matter how many players, whatever. This will always spawn. This is called the circle pit usually. And it looks like these two longhouses on the map. So this is not very far, so that's cool. So you see these chests right here? This is great, and I'll show you why. Let's go ahead and type in /players7. You can do 8, doesn't really matter. And we're going to just pop this open. Boom. You did a lower Kurast run halfway there, man. You ready for another one? I'll show you right now, right quick. Boom. That is all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all you need to do. So that is when people say, oh, I'm going to do a lower Kurast run. That's what they mean. Now, obviously, in hell difficulty, it's more important than in normal. Obviously, I would hope. But so what's so special about those chests? And what makes that so worth doing over other areas in the game? So those chests have a unique bias. They have a bias to drop runes. They have a unique bias to have armor stands in them. They can spawn 4 chests per hut sometimes. Or sorry, 2 chests per hut, so you can get 4 Uber chests basically. And you can also get 2 of those structures to spawn, which is why I'm still looking around. Now, those Uber chests also contain bias towards jewelry like rings and charms, so I couldn't tell you why they programmed it that way. It's just how it is. So what does that also mean? Now, if you're looking to get a Stone of Jordan and you're just having the absolute worst time looking for one, just come in here, pop on a character with like teleport, charge. I would say that's more efficient than doing like Matthew McConaughey shit over here. That is much more efficient, time-wise as well. It takes like 30 seconds, and it just depends on how close your teleporter is, but that's it. That's seriously all you need to do. It is absolutely almost broken once you figure that out, because the ability to get really high runes, you're like, oh, it can't be that good. Oh, really? So I've gotten Burr runes from there. I've gotten... I think I've got like foul runes and shit. I don't know what the highest rune can drop there is. I think it is Burr, which is like 3rd highest in the entire game. So, if you're like, oh, it can't be that good, Seth, you're just fucking lying. No, it's absolutely... I've always told this story. You know how I did my very first Enigma character was I ground out Lower Kurost and the Countess, and I eventually just fucking did it. So, if you think, oh, it's really bad, you're just 100% wrong. So, that is, without a doubt, one of the most important areas in the game. And it's not even just that. Like, let's take into consideration, you saw how many corpses and barrels and all this bullshit on the ground. All of that is loot. That's just loot chance. And the enemies aren't bad either. So, that's just loot chance, that's just more chance of getting XP. The enemies aren't very hard to kill there, but they also don't do a whole lot of damage. Kuros Bazaar is good, but you can see these Zakurumites, or Zakurumites, they never say it, I don't think, but Zakurumites can have Blizzard, they also cast lightning damage, and they're just pretty nasty, so a little bit more, it's in your best interest, essentially. Like, there's no reason to not farm Lower Kuros, it's just... Oh my god, I fucking love this. This is more fun than a fucking Zealot. This is 100 times more fun. Oh my god, it is amazing. I have never played this build before. I have a big dumb smile on my face right now. This is so fucking cool. But yeah, if you're ever like, oh, I need to get some runes, like to up tier a quick mid-game rune word, do it in Nightmare. Even if you're not in Hell difficulty, there's still bias towards specific runes in that specific area. If you're like, oh, well, I'm getting really bad ring drops, I want to get like a nice rare ring before I move into Nightmare, go farm Lower Kurost. And you start to see where this makes sense, right? It's not a very difficult area to farm. It's very quick, very expedient, you do not have to do anything. The only things that really kind of bring it down is you're not going to get really anything else other than like jewelry, runes, and charms. And you can be like, oh, but that's all I want. Yeah, but isn't it better to get like, you know, a big meaty piece of gear that you really need? So you could probably get it from one of the enemies. I mean, I've gotten a burr rune before from just killing fetishes in the swamp in this area before. So it's just sometimes better in the long run to take that gamble and do that. But it's entirely up to you. But it's definitely a very early game area you want to exploit once you have the option to do it, because it literally takes like 10 seconds. When I find the waypoint and get the next thing, I'll show you how fucking quick it is. It's just... oh, it's gravy. There we go. So, let's go back to here, and we'll go ahead and do the next dungeon part. You can see I'm starting to tear ass through Act 3. It's also why I'm like really comfortable with it, because it doesn't bother me. The next dungeon's pretty easy too, so I'm not really super worried. Now, this is a big dungeon. This encompasses the entire, like, above ground network, so we're looking to go to a corner. I'm gonna try over here. What we're looking for is like some unique gloom bats. How do I do on these boys? Okay, that's not bad at all. That movement speed is so good. Like, dude, that is so fucking solid. It sucks I have to hit something to proc it, but it's so cool. Like, I'm sure I can just do this, right? And just absolutely obliterate shit over and over and over. Like, look how much faster we move now. This is so cool. God.
I can't.
Oh, I can't jump over that. That's such a disappointment. This character sucks. I take all the shit back. But, no, there's a lot of people that want, like, you can't jump on those little, like, cross things down there, by the way. I've tried. You just can't do it. There's many people that will just make a hell character to try and get like high runes doing that. It's absolutely possible. I'm not going to say it isn't. It's however you want to play the game. And prepare for my Diablo 3 rant for a second here, but yeah, that is absolutely one of the reasons I hate Diablo 3. There's no area diversity. Everything is the same. It's just you do grifts and they all do the same thing. They all give you the same shit. They're all the same. And that is really boring. You should have every area have its own enemy type. You should have every area have its own meaning and purpose and place in the game. That is called good integration of game mechanics and world building and everything like that. It is just You know what I mean? Like, if you play on... Okay, the last time I played D3 was like a billion years ago, right? But I was able to clear T6's, which is Terror 6 difficulty, which was the highest difficulty in the game, with a solo Witch Doctor, which isn't admittedly a very strong character, depending, because I was trying to go for DPS rather than straight up, like, single target damage. That might also be why. But I could clear up to 43 Greater Rifts solo, and I hated it. I fucking hated doing it. It was so boring. It was just absolutely just mind-numbing. Like, that is the definition of video game hell. I don't know how anybody finds that entertaining for more than 20 minutes. So, this is a big gripe I have with that game. So what is the difference between killing Diablo and the difference between killing Garbad the Strong? Yeah? You think about it, right? You're really thinking about it? Maybe you don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay, how about this? What's the difference between killing Asmodan and what's the difference between killing Malthael? Nothing. A mechanically more frustrating and hard fight for equally the same reward, loot chance, and everything. Everything is just the same. There is absolutely no area diversity in that game. Everything is the same. Like, it is just always the same. What's in this area? Well, there's going to be a unique in here. I think he's always in here, right? I don't know. This guy's just here. Let's just say he's the, Okay. That is worth it. I know there's going to be this, Watcher in here. I know there's going to be a quest item in here. And in Hell difficulty, it's a TC-85 area, so anything can drop. I know that because of experience, but what's the difference between Malthael and Diablo's drops? Nothing. You put the game on T6, they drop the same things. Holy shit. All res plus 6, 21 damage. You're mine, dude. That's mine. Thanks. Oh my god. We'll put this here just for safety. But yeah, it's true. What's the difference between killing Diablo and Malthael? Absolutely fucking nothing. Diablo's easier, but... Actually, I'd say Diablo is faster to kill than Malthael. From memory, at least. Okay, actually, no, it's not true. This is the dream phase, right? The terror phase. Malthael is a significantly harder fight for absolutely no payoff. Like, why would you fight him? You're better off just fighting Asmodan and getting the exact same loot. There's no difference. I could probably be wrong, but as far as I could tell, there's no difference. T6 Malthael versus T6 Diablo versus T6 Butcher, all the same drops. What's the difference? Combat achievements, right? That's it. There is no significant difference between any of those characters. They all drop the same thing. What is the difference between, let's say, Baal and Diablo? Baal is a different fight. Mechanically similar, but also a lot easier. However, Chaos Sanctuary, much more density and a lot shorter run-up to than going all the way through Worldstone Keep, right? What does Baal drop compared to Diablo? High Grand Skiller Charms. That is insanely good. That is how you make a player fight an enemy. What's the difference between Neelathok and Baal? Neelathok drops Keys of Hate, which can be used for Ubers. And what's the other difference here? Baal also has the same chance as dropping the charms, but Baal also drops a different crafting reagent, which is used for a different thing. I think Baal drops the respec one, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, when people are just like, oh, it's not that bad. Yes, it's terrible. Every single area should give you a mechanical and beneficial reason for going into it. There is no reason why it shouldn't. I just can't. I can't. That is just... I can't think of anything in any area in particular in Diablo 3 that had any difference in anything. Why would you do Act 2? Act 2 in that game is horrible. It's shitty, it sucks, the bees do so much fucking damage even after the patch. You know, why do you do it? Because achievements and transmogs. And that's a terrible, terrible... Oh, that's just dumb. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, I'll be right back. And we're back. I was so mad I had to go to the bathroom. But yeah, what's the... Here's the other one. What's the difference between doing greater rifts versus just straight up bossing? Time. there is absolutely no reason not to do griffs, because guess what? They are just infinitely better, like, than bossing by like a lot. Because guess what? The bosses are easier. They do not have the same mechanical complexities. They are random, but I think only like a few are actually challenging. So what's the point of bossing? Right? The random bosses, they're just larger upscale versions of regular enemies and some fucking tryptophobia fucking shit. Like, that's not really bossing. That's boring. Like, what's the difference between fighting Abyssal Demons, sorry, Abyssal Sire versus the Kraken in RuneScape? A big fucking deal. A lot, actually. Well, one of those is actually a boss fight, the other is just something you stand at and it dies. But, my point still stands, right? So why would you even bother doing anything that wasn't a grift? Because you were dumb and you wanted to do adventure mode. So, okay, adventure mode's cool, in theory, but shouldn't you have to unlock adventure mode by, you know, finishing the game first instead of just having it unlocked? Then what's the point of doing the campaign? Oh yeah, transmogs, and that's it. You don't do it because you want to do it, you do it because you have to. Why am I doing the campaign? Because I need to do it to unlock the other shit. And it's a good test of what I should be doing as a character. That is basic guided progression, right? If I didn't have the stats that I do right now, I didn't grind up for no reason. Notice I haven't ground anymore. I've plateaued to where I should be in the game by experience and knowledge and game play loops, right? So I'm where I should be at in the game. I didn't just hit the thing and just go. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's terrible game design. Like, no. Why would you ever do that? Here's the other thing too, griffs, okay. Now, here's where I'll call out Diablo 2, in some regards, right? Because Diablo 2 does have a little bit of a problem at the end game. The end game is brutal in Diablo 2. It is just bossing and that's it. And maybe some area clears, so fair enough. You got me there. Diablo 3 technically has a more mechanically fleshed out endgame, but it's not mechanically engaging. And if I want mechanical engagement in Diablo 2, I'll play MedianXL, because the endgame in that's really fucking solid, right? So here's the other thing too. What is the difference between fighting griffs versus an area like I'm trying to go into right now? Griffs are just totally random, right? So what challenge is there in overcoming randomness? That's just randomness. Now, random game design, that ain't nothing new. Diablo is at its heart a roguelike. What's one of my favorite games of all time? Fucking NetHack. That game is as random as shit, but it has modular generation. Daggerfall? Very random. Modular generation. But it works. Because the game is built around those mechanics properly, right? So here's where it gets really fun. So if Diablo 2 had rifts, which I think were added in MedianXL, I have to really check out MedianXL. It's got a lot of shit into it now. But from what I understand, it's still very much the core game at which it was in the beginning, so I'm not like, oh no, they're adding... I mean, here's the other thing too, MedianXL, the fucking developers of Diablo 3 said in numerous interviews they were inspired by it, because guess what? Other people knew how to make the game they didn't make. That's really fucking depressing. But here's the other thing too. So MedianXL, why do you do UberQuests? Because you want to get more content. You want to keep pushing through. Why do you get your level cap? Because you want to get to the end game content. You want to do different things. You want to clear areas. You want to get better loot. It's a very simple progression that builds off the mechanics of Diablo 2 that already exist in the game. It works because the game it's in works. So it all checks out, right? It's all good. It's all covered. Diablo 3, why bother with the campaign? There's no progression system. It's just there. Like, it doesn't give you any mechanical reason to play it. It's just a waste of time. So, and you can say, oh, but transmogs. Yeah, that's cool. I don't care. Like, I remember at the time, transmogs were the greatest thing ever because, oh, it's really cool. But then the high tier, like, leaderboard necromancer, or sorry, what was it, witch doctor? His name was Starvin Marvin, and he had the chicken transmog, and he got banned. So what does that say about Diablo 3's development team, right? Oops, they made a funny South Park joke, and now we can't have it in the game. Well, I know the transmog's still there, but the guy got banned, and I have a pretty strong suspicion they reported his account for like that, because it's fucking Blizzard. So. You see my point, right? I think that there's a lot of stuff in Diablo 3 that is, holy shit, that's a lot of damage. Let's not go in there. Let's take this carefully. Oh my god, what in the hell is hitting me so hard in that room? Okay, let's take this easy. Holy shit. I don't know what the hell's going on in that. Oh, that's why. It's a combination of how that shit's all put in there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's be smart and just kill it easily. I gotta remember, I'm not fully indestructible yet. But yeah, it's true. Transmogs are cool until you realize transmogs do not separate an entire game. Like, they are... You don't play Diablo to get transmogs. That's boring, because guess what? There's no multiplayer aspect of Diablo 3, so what's the point of transmogs if you can't show them off to other players? It's like bank standing at the GE in RuneScape with fucking full Torva. Why do you do it? Because you want to show off. And you have earned the ability to show off, right? It's validation. So, if you have a game where there's no interaction, no trading, no nothing, and Diablo and Bale, yeah, cool, then what's the point? Why bother? Why even fucking bother putting transmogs in a single-player focused game? Like, you can say, oh, well, Seth, it's got multiplayer. There's no trading. Why would I care? That's the important thing about Diablo, is trading. If I wasn't stashing these items, I'd be muling them over to my other character. So, it's like, dude, it is so important to have a realistic endgame. Not just grifts. Grifts forever. That is not a supplement for gameplay. That's just pushing a button until eventually you get a rift that's clearable. Like, you know, this is the other thing too. They made rifts easier. I'm glad they did, because some of them were absolutely horseshit. You could get rifts that were just awful. Like, there was one where I think I got like all... It was just not fun. So I think it was something like all the big angels from the expansion that would knock you around. And it was like the bees and the fucking map generation was, I think, the Oasis generation, so it was really hard to see. And I was running on a really shitty computer back then, so it was really hard to see in general. So yeah, it was like, what the hell was the point of that? I failed the rift because I didn't have good RNG. That's stupid. That's bullshit. You shouldn't be relying on RNG to solve your game. So, you could say, oh, well, you could have just high damaged up. How? Why? Why would I want to damage up? All I'm getting is the same shit over and over and over and over and over. It's just tailored to be specifically for what I'm playing in my level. That's boring. That's just a Sisyphean task, dude. That is not fun gameplay. Another thing I think is absolutely detrimental to D3. There's no level cap. I mean, you could say, oh, well, you get Paragon levels until X, Y, and Z. But that's just pointless. What's the point? Why even bother having Paragon levels? Why not just have characters stop? Oh wait, that requires an actual RPG-like mechanic system that's not completely made for brain-dead babies. That's why. Oops. I'm gonna go to the bazaar. Fuck this. I'm looking for... Or sorry. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, it's like, why even bother? There was no okay, so here's the other thing too. Why even bother calling everything else mana and not just calling it all mana at once? It's just one encompassing word, mana. Just keep it that. You do not need to have hatred and this, that, the other. It's still just fucking mana. The only difference is it was skill timers for like the paladin or whatever. I don't remember. There was one that had hatred and then like, oh, it's Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter had like hatred and something else. It's just skill timers. It's really just all it is. It's still mana and skill timers. It's not anything different than the other. Well, maybe it was Crusader, I don't remember. I didn't like it either way. It was still just pointless, it's just mana. You know, you can change it all you want, it's just gonna be the same thing. So, what's the point? Like, here's the other thing that really burns me. The endgame didn't have any incentive. Like, what's the incentive? There isn't any. There's no Uber quests. It was just grifts. That's it. That's not endgame at all. That's just insanity in my mind. Like, yeah, it's cool. Random dungeons are fun. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say they're not fun. Like I said, Daggerfall is one of my favorite games ever made, and you can go watch my Let's Play of it. It's fantastic, and I have no qualms with it there. But the dungeons in that game are randomly generated by ProcGen and put into the game 20 plus years ago, so it's not really the same. Here's the other thing, if you, let's say you clear like Greater Rift, like, I don't know, fucking 60. Alright, Greater Rift 60, and you get 4 grifts back to back, and all they were is zombie rifts. You're just... That's it, you're not doing anything, you're just left clicking and things die. That is horseshit. You can't convince me that that is skillful because you just got lucky. That is scooped bullshit, and you do not have any bragging right at that point in my mind. Like, yeah, you can brag all you want, but it's still complete luck and not fucking any skill involved in it at all. You just got really lucky with a high density. Let's see, what else do I want? I would love this. But battle orders, man. This is what we really want. Oh yeah, look at that shit. Max life, max mana, max stamina, 36 seconds. Battle orders. Get you some. Alright, let's put battle orders on E. That'll work. Oh! I love that sound. That's like the best noise in the game. But yeah, it's true. Like, you see, I got battle orders. That's awesome. Like, fucking battle orders is so cool. Like, I can just be like, and then I fucking whack, 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 and beat the shit out of dudes. That is a lot of fun. That is, like, it requires more than just left-clicking. It requires buffing and timing and cast rate. It's really cool. What do you do in Diablo 3? Oh, you just AoE spam till things die. That's not hard. That's not fun. That's boring. I don't know how anybody can find that entertaining. That's why I played Summoner first, because I was like, okay, well, I like Summoner in D2 because it's my favorite class, right? It's mechanically fun to play. A little boring at times, but it's definitely a lot of fun to play.
Impossible.
So what do they do instead? It's just proc chance. There is summoning. I mean, you could summon like your Flesh Atronak dude, whatever he was. But that was it. There was no engagement with it. You didn't worry about it. You didn't fucking care what it was doing. It just walked up to things, and then you hit AoE spells like Piranado and all this fucking bullshit, and it just... Yeah, that's not hard. That's easy. You just basically waited till your spell timers were done, and then you hit shit and it died. And you just kept spell timering over and over like a fucking MOBA. That is... To be fair, Diablo 2 does have spell timers. I'm not saying spell timers are bad. But, like... Dude, that is not hard. You just basically mob things up and go... It's basically playing Trapsin, which I can't stand playing. Because that's exactly what it feels like to me, and I don't find that very fun. I like this. This right here, pure straight-up hack and slashing, is just the essence of this kind of game to me. This is so fucking fun. Like, buffing and beating the shit out of things and debuffing and fucking... Like that. You see all that shit? That was awesome. Like, you can't convince me that wasn't fucking cool. Capital letter, fucking cool. It is. Just deal with it. So, I haven't even mentioned what I'm doing. I'm trying to get the fucking skill book. That's all I've been trying to do this whole time, is get the damn skill book. But, no, you see, that's the other thing, too. Why am I doing this? Because I want it. I need it. I want it to get my character progressed quicker. That is an absolutely normal thing to do. It's right over here, holy shit. Everything is breaking. I need to get this shit taken care of ASAP. This is so dangerous. Oh my god. Let's not fuck this up. This is really dangerous. I like this. This is fun. This is like, okay, I have to move. I don't just stand there and left click on things till they die. I have to actually plan my attacks. I have to know what I'm doing, when to cast battle orders, when to debuff, when to hit her. This is what I'm talking about. This is what is fun about Diablo. It's actually just reaction based. Like, if you take that out, it's just another game. It's not that exciting. So,
Stay a while and listen.
you see what I mean.
I can't.
Do I have to take this to what's his name? Alcor, right? Yeah, he goes, Debuk. That's right. I mean, and this is just me talking about, like, dungeon design. Like, this is the other thing. Density was, like, completely stupid. Like, if you just got bad density, that does happen in this, by the way, too. Happens in Diablo 1 as well. If you get bad density, you're just fucked. Like, that's all there is to it. If you get bad density, and it's just, like, a bunch of bullshit, like, big angels, mallet lords, what else? And there's no potion, so if you don't get any health orbs, you're fucked. You see all this right here? This is healing. This is like me planning it out. My inventory, it matters. Like, that is... Oh, there's so much shit wrong with that. Where is Hralti? Is he over here? He's supposed to be over here, I thought. Where's my man? Where's Hralti? He's supposed to be there. I don't know why he isn't. He's the blacksmith, right? Natalia isn't helpful. I don't know where Hralti is. That's so weird. Is he over here? He's not supposed to be. That's a Shira. I know where she's at. She needs to put some clothes on. Does she blacksmith? No, of course not. She doesn't have clothes. That you can't blacksmith things without clothes on. You'll bang your nipples off. Fine, I'll just go to Act 2 then, because apparently Hralti just doesn't exist, or I didn't see him. It's probably the fucking latter, not the former. But yeah, dude, it's like, it's so important to make sure players are engaging with your game, not just doing random content because they're brain dead. Like, when I played a game for 3 years and say I don't like it, I had someone at work the other day, she was asking me about, like, Diablo, the mobile version that everyone loved to make fun of, because don't you all have phones? And she was like, you played D3 for like 3 years and hated it? I'm like, yes, absolutely, I hated that game. It was terrible. And she's like, why'd you keep playing it? I'm like, because I hated it. Like, you can't explain it. It's just the way it is. Oh! Alright, let's do it. Alright. I am probably gonna have a hell of a time killing these guys, by the way. Oh! I love this. This is so fucking cool, dude. Ugh! I love it. I love it. It's so good. Look at this. I am fucking just blitzing through them. That is so fucking cool. Alright, let's not get too cocky, though, because this could get bad. Alright, we'll get Colin's flail. That's all we really came here for.
Impossible.
Get the hell out of here, Ice Fist. Fucking kind of name is Ice Fist, you cunt. Yeah, look at that. See this. This is fucking amazing. This is satisfying. I earned this. This is so good. Alright, let's go ahead and craft the flail, and then we will end the video. So, but yeah, man, I can't stress enough. D3 is such a disappointment. That's why we're not playing it, and I have zero interest in playing it, like ever. I don't ever want to play it. So, no, I don't want to lower Kuras. Don't give me that bullshit. Do I have to? Oh, this is the flail. Okay, I was like, did it fuck up my thing? There we go. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. We'll take care of probably just Mephisto and Isual. So I'll see you then.
Die. Time to die. Time to die.